This is my rig that I built last year. Pretty top end rig. Come on, focus. So what we got here is a Ryzen 9 5900X. Got a MSI, it's an MSI X570 Tomahawk Max Wi-Fi motherboard. Does have its little bit of RGB in here. And it's also got a Radeon RX6900 XT. My own personal rig, it's got dual Samsung monitors on it. Middle one, this one here is actually a curved monitor. Show you a quick little cinebench test here. Alright, so it doesn't have an overclock, but it does have an overboost on it, done through the BIOS. It is a bit of a different style of doing this. But I mean, results speak for themselves. So, got a K60 Corsair motherboard or keyboard, Corsair Dark Core. Love this thing. Of the games I play here. Yes, that's on extreme graphics. This one I have issues getting decent frame rates with, and this is even on extreme graphics, so 1080p, 63 frames per second, but this one here is a bit of a fun one to play with. Forza Horizon 5, I haven't played it recently. Last time I played it on extreme graphics again, it was averaging about 200 frames a second. Oh, it did finally lock in the rage mode for me. Cool. So I got rage mode and smart access memory applied on the graphics card here. In reality, with both of them actually together, it's got 16 gigabits dedicated memory on the graphics, 16 gigabits virtual memory, which gives you about 32 gigabits of total GPU memory on this. (32 gigabits, 3600 megahertz memory on this, but the slight overclock on the fabric clock. If I remember right, it's because of the way Ryzen operates their memories and whatnot. Half of this would be about 1800 megahertz on the base clock for it, or on the memory clock. On the fabric clock, it's about an 1833. Again, it's overboosted, so the base clock speed doesn't change, but depending on what's operating, how it's operating, it will get up to 5.15 gigahertz as long as the thermals are okay with it, which with this, usually thermals are pretty good, and it'll actually get up to that speed here. So no issues with it, no worries about that. And like I said, fabric clock was clocked up to 1833, whereas the memory clock is at 1800. Performs very well. It's also in 1T mode for the command rate. So this thing is a solid performer. No issues with it. Honestly, best rig I've actually done. Eventually I will post up a video as well showing my son's computer that I have kind of built up for him. He's got a Dell that I worked with a little bit. But this is my rig. It's got a Lian Air Mini for the case. With all this in it, it's also sporting the Corsair RX850 for the PSU. I've done experiments with this thing and have actually spent some time dialing it in and have absolutely no issues with this at all. It performs what I want it to do, how I want it to perform. I've also got a 1200 megabit per second internet in this house. Where did that go? Take a quick little run with this. And just make sure I've got everything connected here. Do a quick little speed test here for it. Again, I've got Xfinity Wi-Fi, Xfinity internet here. The download speeds are amazing. The uploads, not so hot. I don't know why Xfinity's like this. There's a mismatch between the download and the upload, but I haven't really seen any issues with it. Doesn't really affect anything really that much. I mean, that being said, like, stuff loads up real quickly on this. Let's open up a game real quick, just to basically show how fast this thing is actually with opening up games, getting games going and whatnot. There we go. And let's go for one that doesn't have an update on it. Wait, that DLC come out for this yet? Nope, not yet. It's on the wish list. Alright, so I'm still waiting on Oklahoma to actually be released here. We're going to open up this game. Yeah, I forgot I was working on that one. Forgot what I was actually trying to build here on this. Alright, so I am an AMD fan, but I have been messing around with a lot of the older Intel chips in actual reality here, not on just a video game. So when I get around to actually giving you guys the video of my son's computer, his is an Intel. Mine is AMD. So I mean, outside of the startup time on this thing, which doesn't affect it at all, it is a lot to load up on this thing here. I mean, outside of that, it is a great performing computer.